Hi guys, today we're going to do a video on volcanoes in Bolivia and volcanic fields. We're going to start with Abra Granada. First, let me close something real quick. Okay. Abra Granada. Abra Granada is a volcanic complex in Puna de Atacama in Bolivia. It is located approximately 45 kilometers north of Parinacota and is composed from a lava dome, lavas, and acidic ignimbrites. Centering on Cerro Granada, 18,700 feet, and are dated 9.8 to 7.8 million years ago. Deposits erupted 7.9 to 5.0 million years ago by this volcano overlie the older Granada ignimbrite. Other paraluminous rocks were erupted 10 million years ago. The complex is likely source of Granada ignimbrite. The ignimbrite reaches its maximum thickness in the complex. Now let's do a tilt here so we can see. It's pretty big. Our next one is a Catango. Yay! Always like doing that. That's fun. Okay. A Catango. A Catango volcano is heavily eroded, but a lava flow on its northern flank is morphologically young, suggesting Catango was active in the Holocene. Later research has suggested that lava flow may be of Pleistocene age. Glacial activity exposed parts of the inner volcano, which is hydrothermically altered. Glacial moraines lie at an altitude of 13,800 feet, but a present ice cap is only found past 6,000 meters, which is 20,000 feet of altitude. The volcano is a popular hiking route in Ajoomma National Park and Luca National Park. To climb the summit of the Chilean side is dangerous due to landmines. However, it is relatively safe to climb the summit of the Bolivian side. The southern ascent starts over a glacier and passes an abandoned copper mine. It is believed that Pedro Resende, a Chilean explorer, found the remains of firewood at the summit of Catango. Because of this, it is thought that the mountain might have been one of the high Incan Andean sanctuaries. However, more explanation is needed to verify this information. So let's see if there's any views on this one. I'm just curious. This is Umarata over here. So let's take our little person. We'll go over here and see if we got anything at all. But we have nada. And I would hope that there will be some pictures, but there isn't any. So we're moving on to Anel Al-Jassi. And Anel Al-Jassi is here. So it's Nevada Anel Al-Jassi. And this is a stratovolcano in Bolivia. The date of its last eruption is unknown, but its younger lava flows appear to have erupted from a vent on the north flank of the mountain. The main composition of the volcano is andesitic and dacitic. It overlies a plateau which is composed of ignimbrite. The volcano covers an area of 368.8 square kilometers, that is 142.4 square miles, and is 10.2 million years old. Based on its erosion state, while other estimates indicate an age of 2.6 million years. And I always like to look, even if there isn't any, just to see if there is any views at all. And there isn't any on this one either. So we're going to continue. Our next one is Asuni. We can see this is Fasawilki, Turatuni, and Asasuni is over here. Asasuni is 16,693 feet tall, and it's in the volcanic complex in the Cordillera Occidental in the Andes of Bolivia. It is located in the Oruro Department, Sajama Province, Tucuro Municipality, Tucuro Canton. It's situated southeast of the extinct Sajama volcano, between the Chilcani volcano in the west and Turco in the east. And that's at a National Route 27, so it's a road. So let's see if there's anything here. No views. And moving on to the next one, which is Cerro Escoten. Wow. This is a volcano on the border between Chile and Argentina. This volcano is 17,956 feet high, and it lies above the terrain at a maximum slope in the summit area of 26 degrees. A breach in the edifice is 1.9 kilometers or 1.2 miles wide and 3.4 kilometers or 2.1 miles long, and an azimuth of 252 degrees. The current snow line lies between 5,700 and 5,900 meters. During the Pleistocene, it was lowered at 4,900 to 5,000 meters. The volcano's summit, about one-third thereof, was removed by a large explosion, with debris thrown at large distances. Volcanic activity probably occurred during the Pleistocene. That is really wild. Let me see here. We have a road up here, so this is between Chile and Bolivia. So one side is Chile and the other side is Bolivia. And then I have my curiosity. And no view. So we probably won't have a whole lot of views with this side. Our next is Caparata. And again, we have Chile on one side, and we have Bolivia on the other side. Caparata is a stratovolcano. It's in the Andes of Bolivia and Chile, so both sides share this one. Our next one is Cerro Cheson. Cerro Cheson, Jarita, is a complex of lava domes located inside but probably unrelated to the Pantos Grandes caldera. It is part of the more recent phase of activity in the Antiplano Puna volcanic complex. Accompanied with little explosive activity on the main dome, Cerro Cheson, it contains 10 lava domes arranged in a chain located in the floor of the Pantos Grandes caldera. These domes were erupted after injection of mafic magmas in the deep less than 100,000 years ago. The largest dome has a volume of 5 cubic kilometers. That's 1.2 cubic miles. Oh, we have a view over here of Laguna Verde. So let's go over here. And go over here, and then we'll come over on this one. And that way we can see the volcano from there. So we're going to turn here and look this way. And since it clears up, we can see that this is the volcano we were just looking at over on this side over here. And this is a lagoon, so you can see there's other volcanoes in this area. And this is Chile, not Chile, Bolivia. So we're going to go over on the other side real quick and see if we can get a better view over there. because I saw one right over in this area. There we go. We're going to come right, well, we'll go right over here. Get my little peg man to drop. Okay, so this is the back area here, the one we were just looking at. We can see how big it is. It stretches. Check this out. I'm gonna have to learn more about these little piles out here. Okay, guys, I'm moving on to the next one, which is Chilcani. Chilcani is a 5,032 meter high or 16,509 foot volcano. And there is not much more information on it. And we're moving on to the next one, which is Quillo. And there's two for this one. Quillo is a volcanic center in Bolivia. It is located in the Oruro department, Las Dislao, Cabrera province, Salinas de Garcia, Mendoza municipality, northeast of Salinas de Garcia, Mendoza, near a mar named Jayocuita, meaning salt lake. It is sill formed from primitive pyric alkali basalt that closely resembles ocean island basalt in composition and now appears as a hill. The rock contains augite and olivine, and the eruption site coincides with a local lineament and is of Miocene age, with dates of 22.51 plus or minus 0.45 million years ago by argon dating. The Quillo magmas are central Andes, interpolate magmas and originate from the upper mantle. Wow. And the second one is Quillo. We're going to move to the other one. Quillo. And this means black mountain and is a volcano. Our next one is Kaluma. This is Cerro Kaluma. This is a crater in Bolivia. In 1964, it was considered to be a crater formed by volcanism. Its rim reaches an altitude of 3,820 meters, or 12,530 feet, and the crater lies in Playa Lake. The crater has dimensions of 6 to 6.7 kilometers. The crater was most likely formed by a collapse of sediment dome, and her origin as a meteorite crater is less likely. The crater lies on a poorly vegetated desert plain that slopes to Salar de Calpasa. The surrounding plain has an altitude of 12,570 feet and was covered by Lake Michigan during the Pleistocene. So we're going to look here. And there's a small lake here. This is Laguna Seca. And I wonder if there's any views for this one. There may or may not be, and there isn't. Now we're moving on to the next one, which is Escala. Escala is an igneous extrusion at the andesitic Escala lava dome in southwest Bolivia. It occurred during the Holocene. Later analysis of higher resolution satellite imagery showed no evidence of Holocene domes in this area. So this is Escala. Our next one is Gaucha. This is part of the volcanic system of the Andes. It is considered to be part of the central volcanic zone of the three volcanic arcs in the Andes, and is associated Antipolo, Plano, Puna volcanic complex. A number of volcanic calderas occur within the latter. Cerro Gaucha and other volcanoes of that region are formed from subduction of the Nazca Plate beneath the South American Plate. Above the subduction zone, the crust is chemically modified and generates large volumes of melts that form a local caldera system of the APVC. Gaucha is constructed over a basement of sediments. Two major ignimbrites, the 5.6 to 5.8 million year ago Gaucha imbrite, with a volume of 1,300 cubic kilometers or 310 cubic miles, and the 3.5 to 3.6 million year old Tara ignimbrite, with a volume of 800 cubic kilometers or 100 cubic miles, were erupted from Cerro Gaucha. More recent activity occurred 1.7 million years ago and formed a smaller ignimbrite with a volume of 10 cubic kilometers or 2.4 cubic miles. The larger caldera has dimensions of 60 by 40 kilometers, 37 miles by 25 miles, with a rim altitude of 5,250 meters or 17,220 feet. Extended volcanic activity has generated two nested calderas, a number of lava domes and lava flows, and a central resurgent dome. So this is a volcanic field, you guys. We can see some of them here. And that's Mount Nelly over here. Laguna Verde is over there. And moving on to the next one, Gayucus. And it shows it here. However, mapping shows it also over here. So we're going to look at this one, because sometimes the pens are not so accurate. And this is a 10-kilometer long Gayucus chain of north-south trending rhyodacite lava domes running from Chile-Bolivia border about 10 kilometers east of Cerro Toco and Parinacota complex. So this is a volcanic field. We can see we got the Chile-Bolivia border here, so we got it on both sides. And our next one is Futangu. This is a volcano in Comuna Pica. The mountain summit is 5,163 meters or 16,939 feet high and has two summit calderas, two summit craters. The southernmost 200 meters or 660 feet wide one has active fumaroles. The volcano also features lava flows, block and ash flows, and several lava domes. The volcano is part of the Andean Central Volcanic Zone. This volcano has been active during the Pleistocene and Holocene, with major eruptions occurring 258.2 plus or minus 48.8 thousand years ago, between 5.55.9 thousand years ago and 140,000 years ago. Anyway, it was accompanied by formation of ignimbrites. Historical volcanic activity is less clear, and an eruption in 1989 is considered unconfirmed. Plumes linked to the phreatomagmatic eruptive activity were observed on 26 November 1995 and 1 September 2003. Seismic activity is observed on Irapuntuku, and ongoing fumarolic activity released 21 to 50 TD, and that's tons of sulfur dioxide, and has left sulfur deposits in the active crater. Anyways, you guys, we're going to see if we can get a look over here. I don't know if there will be one, but we'll try. Sometimes. And there isn't one there. But these are the craters. This is a crater here. And we're moving on to the next one, which is Ajoomma. And this one here is a meteor impact crater, as what it says on here. So we'll see what it says here. This is a mar partially filled with water in the Bolivian Altiplano north of Salar de Uyuni and east of Salar de Copasa. It is situated in the Runo department, Ladislao Cabrera province. A smaller mar named Niquiquata, or Mud Lake Necocata, is located southwest of Ajoomma. And here it is. It says it was originally misidentified as a meteor impact crater. Volcanic activity of phreatomagmatic nature formed the Mars, probably during the Holocene. During this activity, basalt trachytecite rocks were ejected, including xenoliths consisting of granite. These Mars belong to a group of volcanic centers in the Altiplano. These centers mostly consist of lava flows of trachytecite to dacitic composition. The Mar appears to form a lineament with Quillo. However, in terms of PB isotope ratios and geochemistry, the eruption products of the Mars bear no resemblance to these at Quillo. So, as they put it, this was misidentified as a meteor impact crater and is actually a Mar. So let's see if we have any views on this. We do. So we come all the way over here so we can take a look inside. This is one of the reasons why I like researching volcanoes, so you can learn things. And this is a view from inside. It looks like somebody had a fire in here. And here's some more rocks. That's funny because it's still marked as a meteor impact crater on here. However, this here is done by Bolivia itself with their own pens. Okay, Jitiri. Jitiri is 14,783 feet tall. It's a volcano in the Andes. It's located on the Cordillera Occidental of Bolivia in the Ajoomma department. It is situated southeast of the extinct Ajoomma volcano, between the volcano Chulcani in the southwest and the village Cusapa in the northeast. And our next one is Jorcada. This is a volcano in the Andes, Bolivia. It is constructed by 4 fissures between Pasto Grandes and Laguna Colorado. Several stratovolcanoes, 7 lava domes, are constructed along the fissures, with craters ranging 0.2 to 1.5 kilometers, or 0.12 to 0.93 miles in diameter. The stratovolcanoes are of andesitic composition, and the lava domes have erupted rhyolic. And the last eruption occurred on the northwestern fissure, 95,000 BP. On that fissure, basaltic andesitic centers were formed. And this is like huge. So you can see the craters here. And this one has a small lake inside of it, if you can see down in here. And I wonder if there's any views on this, so I'm going to back out and check. And no, there is not. Moving on to the next one is Kunturi. Kunturiri. This is a volcano in the Andes. On the Chilean side, it is located in the Arica and Parinacota region, and on the Bolivian side, in the Oruro department, Ajoomma province. Kunturi lies southwest of the mountain Jachas Kunturi, or Big Kunturi, west of Jisk Kunturi, smaller Kunturi, and northwest of Patilapata. The mountain west of Kunturi on the border is named Laram Kwawa, not to be confused with the mountain Laram Kwara northeast of Kunturi and the mountains Paku Kawawa. There is a small lake southeast of Kunturi called Chailar Quota. So I'm thinking it would be over here. No, that's Kasiri. So I'm looking for names here and I'm not seeing names. Ah, over here. This is Patilapata over here. And moving on to the next one, which is Lycanber. This is also on the border. This is a stratovolcano on the border between Bolivia and Chile, south of San Carber Volcano and west of Jaricu. Part of the Andean Chilean volcanic zone, it has a prominent 19,409 foot high cone, a 400 meter or 1,300 foot summit crater containing Lancabar Lake, a crater lake which is among the highest lakes in the world, caps the volcano. 3 stages of lava flow emanate from the volcano, which formed on Pleistocene ignimbrites. Lancabar has been active during Holocene after the Ice Ages, although no historic eruptions of the volcano are known. Lava flows extending into Laguna Verde have been dated to 13,240 plus or minus 100 BP. The volcano has primarily erupted andesite with small amounts of dacite and basaltic andesite. And there may be a view on this one. There is one over here. So I think we get a look up or an out. Okay, this is the road. And I believe it's over here. So I believe that's it here. Our next one is Lopez. And this is Cerro Lopez. And this is a stratovolcano, and it has twin peaks and rises 5,933 meters. So this would probably be the other peak over here. This is a twin peak, so over here would be the other peak, I guess. And moving on to the next one, which is Michincha. This is a stratovolcano on the border of Bolivia and Chile. It is part of the east-west trending ridge of stratovolcanoes. To its east lies Escala. The only historical activity from the complex was a flank eruption from 1865 to 1867. And we'll see if we have any views here. And we don't. Our next one is Morro. And this is known by the International Association of Volcanology and Chemistry of the Earth's interior datasheets. Listed Cerro Morro, also known as Cerro Negro, in southwest Bolivia as being active during the past 2,000 years. But De Silva and Francois, 1991, found no evidence from satellite images analysis of Holocene activity. Later higher resolution satellite imagery suggested a possible Pleistocene age. The andesitic scoria cone was constructed on the rhyolitic ignimbrite plateau. It's very interesting. And moving on to the next one is Morro Cacaya. And this is a volcanic field in Bolivia. It is part of the chain of plutons that extends over the Cordillera Real and the Cordillera Occidental, and are the sites of mining activity, which is kind of sad that mining here. You can see over here. I think I was looking. So it looks like maybe mining activity over here. Anyway, the next one is Nuevo Mundo. Nuevo Mundo. So we're going to back out a little bit on this one. And this is a stratovolcano lava dome and lava flow complex between Potosi and Uyuni. It is located in the Potosi department. It lies northeast of the peaks of Uyuni, Kutar, Kufuna, Chuki, Warani, and south of Sikuri. That's a mouthful. But you can see the other ones are over here. Kutur Chukuna, Mount Uyuni, and then let's see the other one. Oh. And moving on to the next one, which is Olca. And this is also with Bolivia, Chile on one side. This is Bolivia and Chile's over here. So let me see, let's do this. This side here is Bolivia, this side is Chile. Okay. Cerro Muchina lies to the west and Paruma to the east. It is also close to the pre-Holocene Cerro Paruma. It is andesitic and dacitic in composition, with lava flows extending several kilometers north of the peak. The only activity from the ridge during historical times was a flank eruption in 1865 to 1867. The exact source of this eruption is unclear. And this is a stratovolcano. Let's get a view here. So we can see it here. We can also see another one here. And moving on to the next one, which is Olagu. This is also on the border as well. This is a massive andesite stratovolcano, and it's in the Andes. It's part of the central volcanic zone of the Andes. Its highest summit is 19,252 feet above sea level, and it features a summit crater that opens to the south. The western rim of the summit crater is formed by a compound of lava domes, the youngest of which features a vigorous fumarole that is visible from afar. Let's see if we have any views here anywhere close. We have a road over here. I wonder if we'll be able to see anything. May not be able to, but we'll try. Well, that's interesting. Okay, so it shows my pen is over that way. So anyway, it's over here. I wanted to see what this is. This is kind of interesting looking. I'm not sure if I have that one on any of my maps at all. This is a lagu over here, so this was what we were just looking at when we were down here. But this here is interesting, and I didn't see this before. Anyway, our next one is Pampa Luxar. There's a lot of unnamed ones out here as well. And this is a little known volcanic field located in Bolivia, southwest of Salar de Uyuni. It consists of a field of lava flows that cover a surface area of 45 by 45 kilometers, or 28 miles by 28 miles. Cones are also found within the field, although vents are difficult to discern. The lava flows partly coalesce and are of uniform appearance, despite differences in their albedo. The field is constructed by basaltic andesite and andesite. An activity of the field may have been controlled by faults, which were later buried by lava flows. The field surrounds an older stratovolcano, Cerro Luxar and Cerro Quillo, which are heavily eroded. It was erupted over several stages, with the youngest being the Pleistocene or Holocene age. One vent, known as Cerro Negro, is a maar and probably formed under the influence of paleo lakes such as Lake Minchin or Lake Tauca, which have left lake terraces in the region. So let's go down closer. So this is Ukila. And then here's it's a very volcanic area. Okay, our next one is Cerro Panizos. And this is a late Miocene era caldera in Santa Cruz Department of Bolivia. Panizos and a majority of these volcanoes are formed by subduction of the oceanic Nazca Plate under the continental South American continental lithosphere. The caldera is located east of the main arc and is supplied chiefly by dacite magmas. Beneath Panizos lies tertiary ignimbrites and a Paleozoic sedimentary base. The huge Panizos ignimbrite erupted by Quillo Panizos has a minimum volume of 950 cubic kilometers or 230 cubic miles. It erupted during an event 6.1 plus or minus 0.04 million years ago and was preceded by another ignimbrite 7.9 million years ago. The last activity is a lava flow 6.1 million years ago. The caldera is hidden beneath a shield with a diameter of 40 kilometers or 25 miles, and some of the central summits over the 5,000 meters or 16,000 feet high has been referred to as ignimbrite shield. Very interesting. End of view. Moving on to the next one is Parinacota. This is a dormant stratovolcano on the border of Chile and Bolivia. Together with Palmera name, it forms the Nevados de Payachata volcanic chain, part of the central volcanic zone of the Andes. Its summit reaches an elevation of 6,380 meters above sea level. The symmetrical cone is capped by a summit crater with widths of 1 kilometer or 500 meters or 1,600 feet. Farther down on the southern slopes lie three parasitic centers known as Ajata cones. These cones have generated lava flows. The volcano overlies a platform formed by lava domes and andesitic lava flows. The volcano started growing during the Pleistocene and formed a large cone. At some point between the Pleistocene and the Holocene, the western flank of the volcano collapsed, generating a giant landslide that spread west and formed a large hammocky landslide deposit. The avalanche crossed and dammed a previously existing drainage, impounding or enlarging Lake Chungara. Numerous other lakes now forming the headwaters of Rio Loca sprang up with the deposit. Volcanic activity rebuilt the cone after the collapse, canceling out the collapse scar. Parinacota had numerous effuse and explosive eruptions during the Holocene, the latest about 200 years ago. While there are no recorded eruptions, legends of the local Maya people imply that they may have witnessed one eruption. Renewed activity at the Parinacota is possible in the future, although the relatively low population density in the region would limit the amount of damage that could occur. Some towns and regional highways between Bolivia and Chile are potentially exposed to the effects of the new eruption. So let's see here. We have no view here. What do we call that? And we do have a view over here though, so we're going to go over here and look at the lake. This is a lake, so as we can see here, Here's both of the volcanoes on the other side here. And this is Ruta 11. Okay, back up we go. So we can see we were just looking at Parinacota, which is here. So it was the larger. And then this is Kishikesiri over here. Our next one is Pariani. And this is Pariani here. This is a 16,657-foot volcano in the Andes of Bolivia. The cone of Pariani lies at the Salar de Coipasa, south of Pumiri and east of Tata Sabaya. And our next one is Cerro Paruma. And this is a stratovolcano that lies on the border of Bolivia and Chile. It is part of a ridge that contains several stratovolcanoes. Paruma lies at the eastern end of the ridge with Oca to the west. The older volcano Paruma lies to the east of Paruma. Paruma has clearly been active during the Holocene, with many morphologically young lava flows on its flanks. It also has persistent fumaroles. One lava flow in particular extends for 7 kilometers to the southeast of the peak. Historical activity along the ridge has been confined to one eruption from 1865 to 1867, the character of which is not precisely known. So this is it here. You can see the top here, and this is where it flows. Moving on to the next one is Oca Paruma. Oca Paruma. A 15-kilometer long east-west ridge forming the border between Chile and Bolivia is comprised of several stratovolcanoes with Holocene lava flows. Andesitic dacic lava flows extended as far as 5 kilometers north from the active crater of Volcano Oca, and to the north and west from thence farther to the west. Oca is flanked on the west by Cerro Minchicha, and on the east by Volcan Paruma, which is immediately west of the higher pre-Holocene Cerro Paruma volcano. Volcan Paruma has been the source of conspicuous fresh lava flows, one of which extends 7 kilometers southeast. Volcan Paruma has displayed persistent fumarolic activity in recent years. The only known historical activity from the complex was a flank eruption of unspecified character between 1865 and 1867. And I'm going to come back out and see if we have any views anywhere around near here. And we have none. Our next one is Patila Pata. And this is a stratovolcano. The date of its last eruption is unclear, but is unlikely to be during the Holocene, as the mountain is heavily glaciated. And it's right in here. If you look, this is Patilapata. And it shows it down in this area here. And we're moving on to the next one, which is Parinacota. And this is a stratovolcano lying on the border of northern Chile and Bolivia. The name Pachata means twins and refers to their appearance. It hosts glaciers down to elevations of 5,300 to 5,800 meters, which is 17,400 to 19,000 feet lower on the northern slope. Parinacota is a complex of lava domes accompanied by lava flows which were in place atop the domes. It was active about 200,000 years ago. The lava domes formed first and were later buried by actual volcanic cone, which, unlike the rhyolitic dacic domes, is formed by hornblende and andesite. The Chungara andesites and lava dome complex of Parinacota were laid down at this time. Parinacota is associated with an adventive vent that has erupted mafic magmas. The main cone was last active 106,000 to 7,000 years ago. The adventive vent is dated to 205,000 plus or minus 24,000 years ago. Climbing the volcano is alpine grade AD, sometimes on a 50-plus degree snow rubble slope. A camp can be established at 5,300 meters or 17,390 feet at the saddle between Parinacota and Parinacota. Depending on the season, the main difficulty can be parentines or tall ice blade needles, which makes the ascent physically difficult or impossible. So let's see if there's any views on here. And I'm not seeing any, even though it can be climbed. Nope, none. And moving on to the next one, which is Vellamo Caldera. And this is a caldera in Bolivia, which contains a major deposit of lead, silver, tin, and zinc ore. This caldera was formed by a volcanic eruption 12 million years ago in the Bolivian Cordillera Oriental. Subsequent to the caldera collapse, volcanic intrusions occurred as many as 3 million years ago after the caldera formation. And moving on to the next one, Pamiri, or Pamiral. Pamiral? And this is a 4,862 meter high or 15,951 foot volcano in the Andes. The volcano is formed from two volcanic cones, the younger of which may be of Holocene age and is constructed in the middle of the caldera marked by semicircular shape. Thanks to a heavy erosion, lavas and eruption products are mostly found in peripheral parts of the edifice, while in the central area a deep-grounded crystalline ore is exposed. A breach 3.5 kilometers or 2.2 miles wide and 5.5 kilometers or 3.4 miles long, with an azimuth of 139 degrees, lies in the volcano, whose summit has a maximum slope of 25 degrees. The volcano forms a lineament with Saxani and Isluga. The creeks named Camina and on the western side, Gajos, originate on the volcano. Sulfur deposits on the volcano were exploited by indigenous people. So let's see if we have a view here, because it says there's a church over here, so there may be a view. No view. There's a church down in here. Anyway, moving on to the next one. Quintana. Lava effuses along fissures at Quintana were considered to have occurred during the Holocene, and it indicated that volcanism in this area is pre-Holocene and may be a Pleistocene or older. And our next one is Sukabaya. Let me get closer here. Also known as Tambo Comado, is a pyroclastic shield in Bolivia. It is located on the Antiplano near the Rio Lauca. The volcano is composed of ignimbrite, which has formed a shield. The shield is capped by an area of vents which may overlap craters and is elongated in shape. At the southern end lies the youngest of the craters. This crater has a lava dome within it. The peak has fumaroles, and its associated tephra deposits have been shaped into sand dunes by wind activity. So this one here is crater Zizka Fila. So you can see this is the one crater with the lava dome in it. And then you have several domes here, and a dome here. And you have Jacafala over here. Jinchupala. This is a volcanic field area, crater. And the next is Serkabur. And this is a volcano in Chile and its associated mountain range. Located in the frontier between Bolivia and Chile, it is part of the Andean Central Volcanic Zone. Sanquer proper is 19,590 feet high. Other mountains in the range are 5,722 meters or 18,773 feet high. Caraquina, 19,091 feet. Escalante, and 5,748 meters, or 18,858 feet, high Sierra Colorado. These volcanoes have erupted a number of lava flows. Lincancabur, Patuna, and Jaracu are neighboring volcanic centers. Saracabur proper is accompanied by a 22.8-mile wide caldera. Before the formation of this caldera, the volcano may have been 7,000 meters or 23,000 feet high, and thus one of the highest volcanoes on Earth. After the formation of this caldera, lava fusions occurred during the Pleistocene and Holocene. There is no reported historical activity. However, eruption products on Escalante and Cercabur include andesite and dacite. Sulfur mines exist on Cercabur chain. An Inca sanctuary has been found on Cercabur. More recently, the Receiver Lab telescope was placed on the volcano, where it is the highest sub-millimeter telescope in the world at an altitude of 5,525 meters, or 18,127 feet. The climate is dry, cold, and very sunny. That's very neat. So it's neat to know that there's a satellite on here, telescope. So let me see. There's no views on here. Wait, there is one right over here. Coolness. How cool is that? We get a view of a person taking a view of rocks. Check this out. Okay, so we're on top up here. I'm looking at all these rocks down there. Yeah. So I'm not sure if we're on that volcano or not. I know we're looking though. And moving on to the next one. Who was over here looking from the bottom towards the top area, which is over here. Interesting. And this is Laguna Verde over here. So I figured we'd go look at a lagoon real quick while we're in the area. And this is looking back at the volcanoes over here. And here's Laguna Verde. And more volcanoes over on this area. And moving on. The next one is Ajoomma. Nevada Ajoomma. And this is an extinct stratovolcano and the highest peak in Bolivia. The mountain is located in Aurora Department, Ajoomma Province. It is situated in Ajoomma National Park in the southwest area of the country. The peak is an isolated cone but is geologically complex, with lava domes of andesitic and rhyolitic composition overlain by an andesitic stratovolcano. The date of the most recent eruption is uncertain, although Holocene activity is assigned to the volcano by many. The tree line of Polylepis terrapacana on the volcano is as high as 5,200 meters above sea level. One of the highest altitude trees can be found growing anywhere in the world. In August 2001, two teams of Ajoomma villagers and Bolivian mountain guides played a football match on top of Mount Ajoomma in an effort to show that altitude itself is not a limitation to physical strain. Indeed, the objective was to protest against the FIFA decision to discontinue the use of La Paz as a location to hold international football matches because of its very high elevation. Interesting. Can you imagine playing a football match on top of a volcano? There's a view over here. And then let's go over here. And there's some over here as well. And if we look up, Let's go over here. Okay, guys, that's the Ajoomma volcano over here. So you can see it's actually pretty tall. Whoa, up we go. And moving on to the next one is San Agustin. St. Augustine. Check that out. It's really shiny looking on here. The International Association of Volcanology and Chemistry of the Earth's interior data sheets considered the andesitic to dacitic Cerro San Agustin stratovolcano to have been active during the past 2,000 years, but De Silva and Francois, 1991, noted no evidence from analysis satellite images of the Holocene activity in the area, and De Silva considered the volcano to be a Pleistocene age. Next one is Santa Isabel. And this is an understudied volcano, so there's not really much information on this volcano at all. Our next one is Circle. And it's here. And this is a volcano in the Andes of Bolivia. It is 16,640 feet high. It's situated in the La Paz department, north of Mauri River, and near the borders of Chile and Peru. Our next one is Cerro Saxani. And this is a volcano in the Bolivian Andes. It is 16,700 feet high and is neighbor of Tata Sabaya. It lies north of Solar de Colpasa. Our next one is Suni Keira. This one is 19,354 feet high. Volcano in Bolivia. It is located in the Potosi department. It lies north of Utacaruncu volcano. The volcano rises 5,200 to 5,600 feet above the surrounding terrain. Sunigura is the source of the ignimbrite, and it features a caldera at the top at the intersection of several faults. The volcano features cirques, which were formerly considered to be craters, leading to the belief that eruptions occurred during the Holocene. And these would be cirques here. And moving on to the next one, Tata Sabaya. This is a 17,810 foot high volcano in Bolivia. It is part of the Central Volcanic Zone, one of the several volcanic belts in the Andes, which are separated by gaps without volcanic activity. This section of the Andes was volcanically active during the Jurassic, with an episode of strong ignimbrite volcanism occurring during the Miocene. Tata Sabaya lies in a thinly populated region north of Salar de Copasa. The volcanic activity at Tata Sabaya and elsewhere in the Central Volcanic Zone is a consequence of the subduction of the Nazca Plate beneath the South American Plate. The volcano has developed along a lineament that separates older crust north of the lineament from younger crust in the south, and the edifice has been constructed by andesitic rocks. The southern flank of Tata Sabaya failed during the latest Pleistocene, about 12,000 to 12,360 years before present. Debris from the collapse entered a lake that covered the Salar de Copasa at that time and formed a deposit with a volume of 6 plus or minus 1 cubic kilometers, or 1.44 plus or minus 0.24 cubic miles. Consequently, the collapse scar was partially filled in with more recent lava flows and lava domes. One eruption occurred about 6,000 years before present. And moving on to the next one, which is Tita Vila. And I'm going to go get something to drink real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, Tita Vila. This is an eroded volcano in the Andes of Bolivia. On the isthmus separating the Salar de Copasa in the north from the Salar de Uyuni, the maximum slope in its summit area is 30 degrees. The stratovolcano in neighboring Tanupa formed 3.5 to 2.5 million years ago on northeast, southwest, and north-northeast, south-southwest structures. It belongs to the Tunga Pujo Gachacoyo volcanic chain. The volcanoes are formed from the andesite and dacite belonging to the potassium-rich calc-alkaline series. And moving on to the next one, Tocopuro. Tocopuri is a volcanic complex located along the border of Bolivia and Chile. On its west side lies a rhyolitic lava dome called Cerro La Torta. Its steep sides are surrounded with talus, and its top surface has flow structures. The complex is located at about 30 kilometers from the El Tatio geothermal energy field. The main Tocopuri volcano is partly covered by the Tapio Inumbrite, which is about 800,000 years old. The Torta lava dome was erupted within the last 100,000 years. The Tocopuri complex has been affected by glaciation during the Pleistocene. And moving on to the next one, and you can see this is all part of it here. This is the complex. You have Chile and Bolivia. Moving on to the next one, Tunapa. Tunapa. This is a dormant volcano in Potosi. It stands on the northern side of Salar de Uyuni at an elevation of 17,457 feet on the Bolivian antiplano. Tunapa is a volcano which was active in the Miocene to Pleistocene. Later glaciers developed on the mountain. There is a cave with several mummies about halfway up and an ancient village at the foot of the modest salt hotel. So let's see if there's any views over here. Yes. Okay, let's go right here. I'm not sure what we're looking at here. Yeah. Looks like a salt mine. I think we're in the wrong place. Okay. Okay, let's try that again. This one will go over here. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, so that's a view of snow. And then we have a view down in here. Unless that's the one we just looked at. We'll go right here. No, not up to the top again. Did we not get that one? Okay, hang on. No, I don't want to go back to that area. Oh, wait, different area. This is snow. Okay. And water. Well, we saw this one already. And moving on to the next one, Uyurani. And this is a 4,321 meter high or 14,177 foot high volcano. It is situated in Oruro Department, Ajoomma Province, Turco Municipality, Turco Canton. It lies southeast of the extinct Ajoomma volcano and the Chugani volcano, and southwest of the Asu Asani volcanic complex between the Chulwurl River and Locker River. And backing out slowly. You can see the rivers are over here. Next one is Uttaranku. Sorry, some of these names I am having a hard time pronouncing. Uttaranku is a dormant volcano in the Cordillera de Lipez in Potosi. It is located in the Sur Lopez province. It is a central volcanic zone of the Andes, and its highest summit is 19,711 feet above sea level. The volcano has two summits with fumarole fields between them. The volcano's landform include lava domes and lava flows. The volcano was sporadically active during the Pleistocene, with the most recent eruption dated at 271,000 years ago. Since then, Utarunku has displayed fumarolic activity. Starting in 1992, satellite observations have indicated a large area of regional uplift centered on Utarunku, which has been interpreted as an indication of large-scale magma intrusion under the volcano. This might be a prelude to a large-scale volcanic activity, including supervolcanic activity and caldera formation. Wow. So this is the two here. You can see one is here and the other is over here. And those are the peaks between them. I don't know if there's any views on this one at all, so we can look. Yep, there is one right here. Whoa, where are we going? Come back here. We're going the wrong one. I don't know where you're trying to take me to. Okay, we're going to try that again. Let's go right here. Where are we going? Why are we going all the way over here? We're taking pictures of something else. Oh my goodness. Where are we at? Well, I guess we're supposed to be looking out that way. Okay, well, I'm going back the other way. Oh my goodness, we went somewhere else. We was all the way over here looking over here at these. Okay, next one is Vellamo. And this is a Miocene caldera in Bolivia and Argentina. Straddling the border between two countries, it is part of the Central Volcanic Zone, one of the four volcanic belts in the Andes. Vellamo is remote and forms part of the Altiplano Puna volcanic complex, a province of large calderas and associated nimbrites that were active since about 8 million years ago, sometimes in the form of supervolcanoes. The Vellamo Caldera was originally estimated to have a size of 40 by 60 kilometers, or 25 miles by 40 miles, but the size was later revised to be between 15 and 18 kilometers, or 9.3 miles and 11.2 miles, and 35 to 40 kilometers, 22 to 25 miles. And it is almost entirely buried beneath younger volcanoes that have grown along the margin of the caldera. Volcanic activity on these volcanoes continued into the Pleistocene. Several lakes also developed on the floor of the caldera, which contains a resurgent dome. How interesting. And next one is Willa Takarani. Arturo Villa Takrani. This is a volcano located in the Colpasa salt pan in Bolivia and Altiplano. It is approximately 4,920 miles high, reaching a prominence of at least 1,200 miles. It is situated in Oro Department, Sabaya Province, Colpasa Municipality. The town of Colpasa lies on its northeastern side. An age of 3.7 million years has been inferred from the erosion status of the mountain, which shows evidence of Pleistocene glaciation. Wow. And we see how big this is. Ta-da! It's huge. And we have all the little cinder cones down here. Colpasa. Moving right along, our next one is Urnia. Not Minia, Urnia. Umia. Okay. Listed as a volcano. I couldn't find any other information on it, but it's listed as a volcano. Next one is Zalpeleri. Zalpeleri is a volcano whose summit is the tri-point of the borders of Argentina, Bolivia, and Chile. A number of railways are in the area. It is part of the Potosi Department in Bolivia, Tucumán province in Argentina, and Antofagasta region in Chile. The volcano formed on top of 2.89 million year ago terra ignite from the Laguna Caldera, and the basement beneath the volcano is formed from the Cretaceous and Tertiary rocks affected by tectonic deformation. Volcanic rocks are andesite, basalt, dacite, and rhyolite. Later Cretaceous rocks are also found in the area as a Pleistocene Schuschnite volcanic rocks. The Bolivian portion of the mountain is protected with Eduardo Everoa Andean Fauna National Reserve. Moreover, it is close to the sector Salar de Terra Salar de Aguas Calientes of Le Flamencos National Reserve. Zalpeleri is associated with a major source of obsidian, with a distribution sphere found in archaeological sites over 220 miles wide. The obsidian is found in the Bolivian side of the border next to Laguna Blanca. Another source is found on the Solitario Mountain Inca, and earlier archaeological remains are associated with obsidian sites. Interesting. Okay, so let's see. We have any views on this one? Or no? No. No. Let's back out. See what else is here. No views. And moving right along, Cerro Bonnet. This is a volcano in Sur La Paz. It is part of the Cordillera de La Paz. It is 18,470 feet high. The volcano is Miocene age and is formed by potassium-rich felsic rock. It is associated with the 15 million year old South La Paz ignimbrites. Volcanism in the area occurred in two phases: an earlier andesitic phase called Rondel Formation, and during the Quisha orogeny in the second phase associated with rhyodacite forming lava domes, lava flows, and pyroclastic flows. The formation of the massif was preceded by the eruption of dacic ignimbrite 15 million years ago. These structures are mined, with mines including Bolivar and La Pena mines. No wonder if there's a view down there. Don't see any. Moving on to the next one. The next one is Chuttenza. Chuttenza is unmarked on maps. Chuttenza is 17,008 feet high. It's an inactive volcano in the Andes, part of the Meluno volcanic complex. In the first stage of its activity, andesite and dacitic andesite lava flows with major pyroclastic components generated a stratovolcano with a crater named Cerro Chutenza Vejo on its northeastern side. Later lava domes were erupted from the crater. The western flank, Cerro Paja Redondo, with 2 kilometers, 1.2-mile long lava flow, and Cerro Cota. Interesting. Moving on to the next one, Volcan Tatio. And this is a quaternary. And not Holocene. No view. And I didn't find much more information on it. Next one is Dislindi. Dislindi is a quaternary stratovolcano. Cerro de Leon. I'm correct, that means Mountain of the Lion. Is an andesitic stratovolcano 40 kilometers southeast of San Pedro San Pablo volcano. It is flanked by 2 massive dacitic lava domes. 2.6 kilometer Chilhata to the southeast and 26 kilometer Cheo to the northwest, in the saddle between Cerro de Leon and Paneri volcano. Gonzalez Farron, 1995, considered Leon to be a Pleistocene Holocene age. The massive Cheo lava dome and flow is the world's largest of its type. The 14.5 kilometer long dacic lava flow has distal margins that are 350 to 400 meters high and dramatic 30-meter high flow ridges on its surface. The age of the flows was considered to be post-glacial, but argon dates indicate that it is less than 100,000 years old. And based on comparison with nearby dated flows, it was considered to be a Pleistocene age. The eruption of less than 1 kilometer of dacic pyroclastic flows precedes the initial lava extrusion, which formed the 22-kilometer compound main flow. Eruption of a small amount of rhyolic airfall and growth of pumice cone was followed by a fusion of the final 3 kilometers of lava. So this is Cerro de Leon. Our next one is Volcan Linzor. And this is a 5,680 meter high stratovolcano. This andesitic volcano was considered to be a Pleistocene Holocene age. No evidence for Holocene activity at Linzor, which lies west of Laguna, Colorado. Our next one is Incantaro. Yes, if I get the name right. Incalari. And this is an andesitic stratovolcano. It is located 25 kilometers southeast of Cerro de Azufre, along Chile-Bolivia border. Satellite imagery shows a small lake and the 400-meter diameter summit crater. Its age was estimated by Gonzalez Farron, 1995, as Pliocene to Pleistocene. I don't know if there's a view in this lake or not. There's not, but let's see if we can go down here and look closer. It's 3D. So this is the lake that's in the crater up there. And moving on to the next one, Penarol. Cerro Penarol. This is a complex stratovolcano located 30 kilometers southeast of San Pedro Volcano. The summit contains 3 craters separated by about 4 kilometers along a northwest-southeast trend. The age of this andesitic to dacitic volcano was considered to be a Pleistocene-Holocene, but De Silva considered it to be a probable Pleistocene age. Interesting. Any views? No view. And moving on to the next one, Apagado. Apagado. This is a Pleistocene stratovolcano, and I didn't find any more information on it. And moving on to the next one, Canapa. Canapa is an andesitic dacitic stratovolcano of Pleistocene age. Our next one is Aucanquilcha. And this is the world's highest permanent human habitation. Is situated below a sulfur mine in the summit region of Cerro Aquilcha, one of the largest volcanoes in northern Chile. Several distinct cones are located along a 10-kilometer long east-west ridge that forms a broad summit. A Pleistocene debris avalanche deposit is a prominent feature of the lower northwest flank. Extensive Pleistocene glacial moraines surround the stratovolcano, but post-glacial lava flows overlie those moraines on the upper southern flanks. And any activity appears to have ended during the late Pleistocene. It presently displays fumarolic activity. So let's move out, and we're going to see if we have any views here. We don't seem to have any. So you can see how big it is. And moving on to the next one, Cerro Cariquama. Cerro Cariquama is a youthful-looking stratovolcano, but could be a Pleistocene age. Similar appearing volcanoes elsewhere in this part of the Andes were dated at about 3 million years. An unnamed cinder cone corresponding to the location of Cerro Pina on the lower northeast flank was classified as being active during the past 2,000 years. However, indication that there was no young volcanism in the area, and De Silva and Francis, 1991, noted no evidence from satellite imagery of young volcanism there. And let's see if we can get a view here. So our mountain is over here. Ta-da! And there's the volcano over here. And moving on to the next one, Isuga. Isluga? Isluga. This broad Esluga volcano lies 7 kilometers west of the Chile-Bolivia border at the west end of the group of volcanoes extending to the Tatasabaya volcano in Bolivia. A stratovolcano, it contains a well-preserved 400-meter wide summit crater at the west end of the elongated snow-covered summit region. Numerous post-glacial lava flows, many showing distinct levees, are most prominent along a broad front at the lower south flank. Activity from the summit crater was reported in the 19th and 20th centuries. A lava flow in 1878 destroyed several towns. Wow. A new view from there. So let's back up a little bit and see if we have a view from the road area. And we don't. Okay. Then moving on to the next one. Arantica. Arantica is the central and most prominent cone of a large volcanic complex that rises north of the Salar de Sur. The complex includes Cerro Paquintica, 7 kilometers to the east, Cerro Calajata, 3 kilometers to the southwest, and the Dacitic Calajata lava dome at the southwest end of the complex. The volcanoes are extensively dissected, but the latest activity at the 5,597 meter high Arantica produced a post-glacial lava flow from a relatively well-preserved summit crater that descended the southeast flank. Later higher resolution imagery indicated this lava flow was a collapsed deposit and the volcano had a probable Pleistocene age. Potassium argon ages of 637,000 and 486,000 years ago were obtained by Werner et al. 2000, who suggested that based on the elevation and location of the volcano, the summit may not have been glaciated and that consequently the lack of glaciation may not denote Holocene activity. Cerro Punquita is considered older than Arantica and rises to 5,760 meters. So very interesting. Our next one is Vellamo. These are lava flows from Vellamo cinder cones are potassium argon dated to 285,000 years before present. And I wonder what's over there. Let's see. We can get a view here. Might not be much of a view. Okay, you've got Parinacota and another volcano over there. Ah, you can see them over here. Okay. Amazing. Imagine driving through there and you're driving through a volcanic field. That is like amazing. Our next one is Teapaca. Volcan Teapaca. Teapaca Volcanic Complex lies west of the main Andean chain, rises northeast of the small town of Putre, the principal settlement of the northern Chilean altiplano. The elongated volcano massif, known locally as Nevados de Putre, consists of an andesitic stratovolcano and a dacitic lava dome complex. It overlies Pleistocene ignimbrite deposits and trends roughly east-west, with activity migrating generally to the southwest during four principal periods of activity dating back at least 1.5 million years. At least three major edifice collapse events have produced debris avalanche deposits, the youngest of which underlies Putre. Studies have shown that explosive activity with dome growth and associated block and ash flows and lahars continue into the late Holocene. The youngest volcanic stage, beginning about 9,000 years ago, produced the summit lava dome of the Putre unit at the east and south ends of the complex. The latest documented activity produced an ash layer dated 2,000 years ago. And our next one is Coquina. Coquina is an andesitic lava dome, and are potassium argon dated at about 194,000 to 264,000 years before present. And moving on to the next one, Lexon. So, Rotted Lexon volcano contains a group of young lava domes in northern Chile, southeast of Tocora volcano. The domes are initially considered from morphological evidence to be of Holocene age, but argon dates of about 60,000 to 70,000 years were obtained from the young chain of lava domes. Our next one, Tocora. Tocora, the northernmost volcano of Chile, is a twin volcano with Chupaquina to the north and lies near the Peruvian border. The andesitic volcano overlies a flat-lying platform of ignimbrites at about 4,200-meter elevation, forming the Arica Antiplano. The roughly conical edifice is covered by glaciers down to about 5,500-meter elevation, and an explosion crater lies on the northwest side 300 meters below the summit. Sulfateric and fumarolic activity have been reported on the east side. Young lava flows on the south flank appear to overlie glacial valleys. And there's also hot springs located on the eastern side of Tocora. Our next one, Cerro Tatajuatura. And this is a stratovolcano Pliocene to Pleistocene age, and is a source of voluminous andesitic lava flows. Our next one is Porquesa. Porquesa of a massive lava dome complex which produced small volume ignimbrites dated at 0.1, 0.15 to 0.29 million years ago. Hang on one second. Yeah, so do I. Next one is Cerro Napa. This is a stratovolcano with an argon date of 1.38 million years ago. Our next one is Ajoomma. And this is a Pleistocene stratovolcano. I believe it's here instead. Our next one is Parinacota. Parinacota is a Pleistocene stratovolcano. Serra del Azufre. This is the largest and youngest volcanic center, a 50-kilometer long northwest-southeast trending chain of Chilean volcanoes just west of Bolivian border, south of Salar de Escotan. The northern summit forms the high point of the andesitic volcano. An older southern stratovolcano extends southeast towards the Pleistocene Cerro Agulucho volcano. A large group of late Pleistocene lava flows originated from the northern cone extends towards the northern flank and partially overlies a debris avalanche deposit now largely buried by the Salar de Escotan. The Jaca dacitic lava dome complex occupying the lower west flank is pristine looking, but has been potassium argon dated at 1.5 million years ago. Two possible Holocene dacitic lava domes that were erupted along a northwest-southeast line east of the summit ridge marked the most recent effusive activity, but two youthful-looking craters on the main edifice could be Holocene. So we can see the two craters on the top, and then we can see the rest of this is all part of the area that we were just talking about. So it's huge. We have craters here too. And moving on to the next one, San Pedro San Pablo. This is a composite volcano of San Pedro in the arid Atacama Desert of northern Chile. Is one of the world's highest historically active volcanoes. The basaltic andesite to dacite edifice is 6 kilometers west of the older San Pablo. The youngest cone was constructed within a large horseshoe-shaped escarpment left by the collapse of the older edifice, which produced a large debris avalanche to the west, perhaps accompanied by a major pumice eruption. Thick dacitic lava flows with steep-sided fronts mantled the upper portion of the younger cone. The youthful-looking La Poruna Scoria cone on the west flank produced an 8-kilometer long lava flow. But Warmer et al. 2000 obtained a surprisingly old helium surface exposure age of 103,000 years from a juvenile block of lava flow. Reports of variable reliability mention historical eruptions in the 19th and 20th centuries. So wow. This is San Pedro's here, and San Pablo is over here. And our last one, Rajacula Inca Cormaca. And these volcanoes display hydrothermal alteration and are possible Pleistocene age. And there's not much more information given on this. So we can see this is a volcanic field here. Okay guys, thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something new. Stay tuned for our next video. We're going to be doing it on Chile. I believe it's Chile, yep. Anyways, you guys, much love, and I will see y'all later. Please hit subscribe, like, and check below for the links. I'm also going to be leaving a link to get to the map for the KML so you can download them and look up more information if you like. Thank you, and have a nice day.